God gathered all creatures and decided to measure out his age for each one. He was the first to call the man over. You, man, are not a large creature, so I give you 20 years of life. It's not enough, the man thought, but he didn't argue with God and quietly stepped aside. Meanwhile, God called the horse. I assign you, horse, 40 years of life. You are a big creature. You should live longer. But the horse prayed, have mercy, God, walking around with a yoke around your neck for 40 years, carrying a plow and a cart behind you, and even receiving a whip. Even 20 is enough for me. Give the remaining years to the person who needs it most. God gave the go-ahead and called the cow, on the same basis as the horse. He gave her 40 years of life. But the cow refused. God forbid. For 40 years they will be tugging at my udder. 20 is enough for me, but give the remaining years to the person who needs them more. God agreed. He called the dog. I'm giving you 30 years, dog. And the dog, Lord, have mercy. Well, why should I sit on a chain for 30 years, bark at everyone and gnaw a bone? Give me 15, and give the rest to the person. What about God? He gave another 15 years to the man, called the cat and offered him 20 years of life. But the cat thought, how can it be possible to eat mice for 20 years? And he gave up 10 years of life. He also gave them to a person. Since then, a person has lived like this. At first he lives his 20 years, he knows no worries and grief. Then comes 20 horse years. A person works like a horse, pulls a cart, work, home, family. The next 20 years are those that the cow gave. The person is milked by children, grandchildren, money for a dacha, for a car, and then he lives for 15 dog years. He sits at home, guards the house, looks after his grandchildren and looks outside. And the cat years come. Depending on your luck, they can pat you on the head like a cat, or they can kick you in the ass.